Next up, we got a BMW M3. This M3 is fast, one of the fastest cars from the 2024 L case. Let's see how it does on the track. It's going to end off just in front of turn 3. A pretty good run for the M3 is going to put him at 208 scale speed. Not bad. Next up, we got the Volkswagen ID Buzz. See what this Volkswagen Bus can do. This was the fastest car from the 2024 L case. Look at it go around turn 3. An insane run from the Volkswagen is going to pass Mario past the 48-foot mark. 222 scale speed. It is fair to say we have another championship contender in the mix. The Volkswagen Bus just beats Mario. And finally, the last fastest car from the L case, we got the Flip Car. Let's see what this flip car can do around the arc. It's going to slow down and lose all of its speed going into turn 2. 153 scale speed is highly unusual for this flip car, as it was one of the fastest cars going down the distance track in its case race, but it's not going to be enough to beat the Volkswagen ID Buzz, who's going to take the win today, beating out the BMW M3 and knocking Diva out of the top 10. What a race. Next up on the track, we got a Ford F-150. This F-150 was one of the fastest cars from the 2024 M case. Let's see how it does on the distance track. Quick around turn 3. Look at that speed he carries on the straightaway. He's going to end off right behind the Koenigsegg Gamera, clocking in 210 scale speed. I was not expecting this kind of performance out of a 1999 Ford F-150, but there you go. An insane run to try and get beaten by its competitors, and a run already fast enough to knock out the Audi RS5. Next up, we got the Corvette Stingray. Again, this is an insanely fast car that just came out in the 2024 M case, but the Corvette's not going to have the speed to go around turn 3. He's going to spin out right before the turn, and it's not going to be enough to beat the Ford F-150. But 228 scale speed is an unbelievably fast run. This Corvette, unfortunately, just does not have the speed it takes to carry itself down the backstretch to victory. And finally, we have Max Steel. This was the fastest car from the M case. Let's see what it's able to do on the track. Around turn 3, he's going to hold that inside well, but he's going to spin out on the backstretch. It looks like Max Steel's not going to make it down the backstretch. 228 scale speed, and he's just barely going to lose out to the Ford. Insane that Max Steel clocks the exact same speed as the Corvette, but he's going to spin out and unfortunately not win today's race. That win is going to go to the Ford F-150 Lightning with an absolutely blazing fast run, and that is going to be fast enough to beat out the Audi. Unfortunate for Max Steel. Comment down below if you want him to try again, and we'll run him again on the distance track, because this car is really quick. Next up on the distance track, we got Chase Elliott. Let's see what this number 9 car can do from Hendrick Motorsports. It's just going to end off on turn 2. 159 scale speed. These NASCAR diecasts aren't fast compared to Hot Wheels, but which one is going to be the fastest out of the Hendrick Motorsports battle? Because next up, we got Kyle Larson. See what the driver of the 5 can do down the downhill of the arc. He goes around turn 2, but he's not going to beat the 9. 159.26 for the 5. It's not going to be enough to beat the 9, but we got 2 more cars to go. Next up is the 24 of William Byron. See what Byron can do around the arc. Can it have more speed around turn 2? It does not look like it. As the 24 falls over on the curve, he's going to fall over in front of the 9. So we're going to give him that. The 24 takes the lead in front of the 9. Man, that was close. Last but not least, we've got the 48 of Alex Bowman. All right, let's see what Bowman can do. Down the stretch around turn 2, and he's going to barely take the lead in front of the 24 and the 9. 157 scale speed is not fast, but it's fast enough to take the victory in front of all of the Hendrick Motorsports drivers. Alex Bowman is going to be your NASCAR winner today. Mercedes-AMG GT. See what this Mercedes can do on the distance track against its fellow Mercedes. It's going to hold its speed all right on that back stretch and end off on the fat track. 184 scale speed for the AMG. Let's see if the other Mercedes have the speed to beat it. Next up is the Mercedes-Benz 500e. See what this older Benz can do around the corners. Looks like it's carrying so much more speed than the AMG. It's going to end off right in front of turn 3 around the 42-foot mark. 184 scale speed and a sizable gap to the competition. Can the 500e hold his position? Finally, we have the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63S. A long name for the Mercedes and a long car. Let's see what this car can do. It doesn't look like it's going to have the speed it takes to beat its competition as it loses out to the AMG GT and the 500e. And a slow run for the last Matchbox Mercedes. It's not going to be taking the win today, and the winner is going to be the oldest Mercedes of the bunch. The 500e takes it with an incredible run and just a stunning car. Unbelievable. Next up on the track is a McLaren F1. See what speed this F1 can bring out on the Hot Wheels track. A legendary casting, a legendary car. It's going to end off right at the beginning of turn 3. 200 scale speed for the McLaren's pretty good, but we got some other McLarens going to try and beat it. Will the F1 be able to hold its position? Next up, we got the McLaren P1. See what the P1 can do. P1 has some speed on that downhill, but loses it in the corners. Gonna make it to the fat track, and it's not gonna be enough to beat the F1. Just a few miles per hour slower on the speed trap for the P1 is gonna end off right behind the 40-foot mark on the distance track. The F1 holds the lead, but can he hold it for one last car? Finally, we got the McLaren 720S. The 720S is the last hope for McLaren to see if he could do it. He's going to have lots of speed going into turn 3, and he's going to be able to pass the F1 for the win. The P1, the hypercar, is not going to make it. The F1's going to hold his lead to the very last moment as the 720S is going to finish right in the middle of turn 3, taking the win and beating out the F1 at 210 scale miles per hour. Next up is the BMW M4. An absolutely beautiful looking casting, but with little to no speed. It's going to end off right at the beginning of turn 2. 135 scale speed. It's a miracle he even made it around the arc. An unfortunate performance for the M4, but we've got some more racers to go. Next up from France is the Bugatti Bolide. This is France's first entry in the Germany versus France battle, and this Bugatti is going to have what it takes as it ends off just around the 41-foot mark on the fat track. As France is going to take the lead with the Bugatti, we got one car to go for each country. Can Germany bring it back with the Porsche 911 GT3? It doesn't look like it. Slow around the arc. Unbelievable run. The Porsche's not even going to make it to turn 2. The German engineering cars just do not have the speed today. For our last car, we've got the Renault Sport RS01. Another French supercar trying to make history. Can he make it to the top 10? It doesn't look like it. He's going to get off the track around turn 3, but he is going to take the win in front of his French teammate. The Renault is going to take it. 210 scale speed for the Renault, and it's not even close. Both of the French cars make it to the fat track and win the country battle, while both of the German cars just will not make it very far. The M4 and the Porsche are unfortunately your losers today. Next up is the Corvette C8R. See what this Corvette can do around the track. Quick around the arc, is going to be able to hold his speed well through both corners and end off right at the beginning of turn 3. 195 scale speed for this GT3 car, and it's looking pretty good. The Corvette holds the lead with 2 cars to go. Next up, we got the Audi R8 LMS. Let's see what this GT Audi car can do. Around turn 2, he's not going to be holding his speed very well as he ends off on the orange track before the fat track. 178 scale speed is not going to give the Audi the victory today as he falls just short of the Corvette with 1 car to go. And for the final racer of the GT3 battle, we got the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. See what this Super Trofeo can do. This is a very fast casting. What can it do on the straightaways? Holds its speed on the back stretch, and it's not going to be enough to beat the Corvette. 198 scale speed, so really close between the Lamborghini and the Corvette, but it's going to be the Corvette C8 taking the win of the GT3 battle over the Lamborghini and the Audi. What a race. If you want to see more GT3 cars, comment down below. Next up is a Toyota AE86. Let's see what this Sprinter can do on the distance track in the JDM battle. It's going to be a very good initial run for the Toyota as he finishes off just around the 42-foot mark. 198 scale speed, so not quite 200 miles an hour, but really quick for the Toyota. Can the other JDM cars beat that? Next up is the Honda S2000. This is a casting I've not raced a lot on this series. Around turn 2, the S2000 is just barely going to be beating that Sprinter. And look at that, another almost identical time coming from the S2000 as he just barely beats that Toyota going into turn 3. 2 cars to go. Who's going to hold it? Next up, we got a GTR R33 Skyline. Love the Godzilla paint on this thing. Let's see how well it does on the track. Around turn 2, he's not going to make it to his competition as he ends off just behind the 40-foot mark and behind his competitors. 186 scale speed, not fast enough for the Nissan. Finally, we got the Datsun wagon. This Datsun looks quick around the arc. Look at that sheer speed. He gets on 2 wheels. Let's run him again. Take 2. This thing is unbelievably quick. Just look at how fast it's going around these corners. Gets around turn 3, going for the record, and he's gonna get it. The Datsun wagon is just barely gonna beat out the Ferrari and take the lead of the distance championship. 222 scale speed is gonna be enough to take the lead and a new record. It's gonna be the Datsun just surpassing the 52-foot mark and beating all the other cars in the JDM battle. Man, what a run for our new king of the hill. And that is unfortunately gonna eliminate the tuned Porsche from the top 10. Very unfortunate, but hey, what are you gonna do when there's a new king in town? Next up on the track, we got some more Mario Kart cars. Let's see what Shy Guy's able to do first around the arc, around turn 2. He's holding his speed pretty well, and he's gonna end off just in front of turn 3. Man, lots of cars are ending just in front of turn 3. It's gonna be 200 scale speed for Shy Guy. Is that gonna be enough to take the win? Let's see what Dry Bones can do. Dry Bones looks like he has a little bit more speed than Shy Guy on the straightaways. Can he hold his speed? It looks like it is. He's just going to finish off right on turn 3. 1,208 scale speed is not an accurate reading for Dry Bones, but it's going to be enough to take the lead of this Mario Kart battle as Dry Bones pulls ahead of Shy Guy with 1 car to go. For our last car to go, we've got Mario. Let's see what Mario can do. Sorry, Tanuki Mario. Around turn 2, it looks like he has way more speed than Dry Bones. Around turn 3, Tanuki Mario is going to get around turn 3 and take the Mario Kart win. 1,219 scale speed for Tanuki Mario. It's just going to be short of reaching the top 10 of the fastest cars in the distance championship, but it is going to be enough to establish dominance over Dry Bones and Shy Guy. For this Mario Kart battle, Tanuki Mario is your winner. Who better to start off the Halloween special than the Ghostbusters? See what this Ghostbusters do, and it's not going to be enough. They stop right before the arc. I guess they just got a little scared. I mean, that's a lot of G's going through the arc. I understand, Ghostbusters. I understand. Next up, let's see what the Mystery Machine can do. The Mystery Machine makes it around the arc, and he's gonna get around turn 2 as well, taking the lead. 169 scale speed from the Mystery Machine is pretty good, but we got 1 more car to go. And lastly, we got the Scooby-Doo Batmobile to see how far he can go. This is a goofy looking car. Around the arc, he does well. He's fishtailing around the straights, gets around turn 2, and finishes right behind the Mystery Machine. 162 scale speed, but when it comes to these Halloween cars, it's gonna be the Mystery Machine taking the win, which I don't think I've ever said ever, beating out Batman, which I gotta be honest, looks pretty good, right? Happy Halloween!